So yesterday I saw the new psychiatrist and I've been prescribed mirtazapine, which is a tetracyclic antidepressant with a bit of a sedative effect. It's sometimes used to help people with sleep issues, and since I've had sleep issues, hey, why not? But I am such a wreck today. I've only been taking a half tablet, so 7.5 milligrams, and it's past 1 p.m. and I'm still just struggling to stay awake, which is not great. I mean, obviously I took it at night and yeah, I guess it probably did help me sleep, but the effect hasn't worn off. And so I'm a wreck today and like I'm noticing even my typing is kind of clumsy. And so obviously I'm not going to be driving for a while I'm on this stuff. Um, and I'm considering maybe I try and cut it in half again and take a quarter tablet because, oh my God, I can't function. I mean, I still woke up a couple of times in the night, but then I drift off again and have this feeling like not much time had passed. But then I'd look at my phone and actually it's been an hour or, stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it's so hard to get out of bed. I had breakfast and all that, and then I just had to lie down again. And oh my God, trying to drag myself out of bed so hard. And if I stop and lie down, I'm screwed. So I'm trying to sit up and do other things, but I think I'm just gonna have to lie down again later. It's really rough. Um, and it's supposed to be something that people don't get a lot of bad side effects to, but I have a history of bad side effects, and I guess I'm small and I don't know, Japanese liver apparently could be a reason. A lot of these things just affect me pretty hard, and I'm struggling to like keep my thoughts together, which isn't new for me on YouTube, but yeah, it's trying to concentrate on staying awake and getting through the stories and whatever. Um, yeah, so I mean. The last few days I slept better anyway because the weather's been better. So, did I need this to sleep? I don't know. But it is supposed to be an antidepressant and it can, what I've read, it can work faster than some of the others, at least initially. Um, but I don't know. I mean, when I first woke up and was feeling a bit, I was like, oh, it's fine. But because it hasn't worn off, I'm feeling more and more pessimistic about it. Um, so I don't know. I don't know how long I'm gonna last. I mean, my next appointment is in 3 weeks, but he said I can call the reception, within a week if I'm struggling. Don't wait too long if it's really bad. So I'll see how I go, but maybe I do need to cut the tablets into quarters. Um, but as for the session, I mean, because I slept okay that night, I was able to get up early enough and be reasonably functional to go to the appointment. And he asked me a lot of questions. It sounds like he's read the reports from my last year's psychologist, the specialist, and also my previous psychiatrist who I haven't seen for 5 or 6 years. So he had a decent background. We didn't talk too much about depression because I think that's pretty standard. But he asked me a bunch of questions, um, including like, about the dissociation thing. What do I think of that? Also about schizoid. And, one of the things he says is like, so you realize like these categories were sort of made up by a bunch of white men in the 60s. And I'm like, yeah, but, the reading about it, I can see where I fit. And then, having made YouTube videos, the people who follow me who are schizoid don't say much, but when they do, it's like, yeah, this is relatable. So, like having the word kind of is helpful. Because, like, yeah, sure, it's all labels, but sometimes having a word for something is useful. I don't think I explained it in that much detail, but you get the idea. Like, yeah, it's just a category, but there's enough of us out there that you can put a name on it, and then, yeah, it makes it easier to look up what is this thing, what are some things that are common, while also recognizing that we're going to differ in various ways. So, yeah, we talked about that. I think he probably wasn't too convinced about the schizoid thing until he asked me more about my experience with relationships and, what did I think there, and a few of the things I said I realized don't sound like normal people stuff. Especially when I lamented the fact that none of the guys ever dumped me. I always had to dump them, and I wish they would have just dumped me and saved me the trouble. I realize that's not a normal thing to say. But anyway, he also asked me, like ADHD stuff, how's your concentration and focus? And I'm like, once I get onto something, it's okay, but it's hard to get started. Um, Stuff like that. But I think he asked me because one of the problems with sleep is sometimes my brain will still be going, and apparently people with ADHD, their brain won't stop. Um, and I don't know if the excess of hobbies that I have was the thing. But anyway, um, I have with my old psychiatrist, he got me approved for, I think, dexamphetamine, um, which is an ADHD drug. And he asked me about my experience with that because apparently when ADHD people take it, like it actually quietens their mind and they can think or something like that. Whereas when I took it, all I really felt was nauseated, and so I didn't last long on that one either. Um, and so if I didn't react to that medication, then I probably don't have ADHD. He also asked, like, has anyone ever suggested autism? And, before Schizoid, that was the top contender. Um, a lot of people thought I might have autism, but there's a lot of things in it that I don't have. And, I'm sure there are some things about me that might be on the spectrum, but like so far down the mild end that doesn't even count anymore. Like, where's the cutoff point? So I don't really know what he thinks of me at this stage. He took a lot of notes and asked a lot of questions, and we covered a lot of stuff. Um, so he's not giving like any kind of diagnosis early, but then yeah, gave me this Mirtazapine, and I don't know, like um I talked to the pharmacist a bit about, the things I need to be careful of. One of them is don't drive for a while because drowsiness and driving don't mix, which is fine because I've got almost nowhere to go. And even when I go somewhere, I try not to drive. Um, and well, I also asked about. Oh, they also said no alcohol, which is fine because I don't drink alcohol. And then the other one was it can cause your mood to become unstable, which my mood is already unstable. So I don't know, it's not really a problem unless it gets significantly worse, which if I'm this tired all the time, maybe it will. Isn't that funny though? Because like I slept better, I guess, but I'm actually more tired than on some of the days when I haven't slept. Which, I don't think just sleeping is enough. I think being able to wake up and have energy is important, and I do not feel like that today. But I also asked the pharmacist about antihistamines, whether there's any kind of interaction, because when I look up mirtazapine, it seems to interact more with the histamine receptors like H1 and a bunch of other ones that I don't even know what they are. Um, so I didn't take any of my antihistamines last night because I was just a bit like, I don't want it to overdo it. The pharmacist said, no, it's fine. And I know there's more than one histamine receptor, and the antihistamines that you normally get in like act on different receptors. And so I think H1 might be the one that makes you more drowsy. I don't even know. Um, I just thought I won't take the risk because I am so sensitive and I have had such bad reactions to certain antihistamines in the past. I don't want to add antihistamines on top of each other. Um, yeah, so like even though the pharmacist says it's okay, I was just super careful to try and avoid too much of that going on. Um, but yeah, kind of interesting the way it works because apparently like with like SSRIs, those more normal antidepressants, if you take too much you can get serotonin syndrome. Apparently you don't really get that with this drug because it actually blocks the main receptor that's involved in serotonin syndrome. So that's kind of interesting, and yeah, interesting that it works more on antihistamines. But in terms of the sleep properties, what I've heard, what I've read, is that um up to 15 milligrams, which is the size of one pill, up to that, it can help you sleep. But beyond that, it can become stimulating. So I don't know, like, what if I took more, but it'll build this stuff up slowly, and um, I'm so tired, and one day I'm already like, oh my God, I don't know if this is the right thing for me. And, like, I need to stay on it for a bit to see what's what, but just I feel even less functional than when I've been woken up at 4:30 by my little brother. And there's a gig I want to go to tomorrow, and if I feel like this, I fucking won't. Um, yeah. And like that sort of getting out of the house thing has been a goal for me, and then I'm taking this drug and it's getting in the way. This is the problem that I had with other drugs is like when I was first trying to find a medication, with my last psychiatrist, I had to stop working because I was getting effects like this where I just couldn't focus anymore. Like this one feels like the one that stopped me from working because I was just so tired. And yeah, trying different medications, having unpredictable stuff happen, I just couldn't work anymore. I'm already not working, so this is probably the right time to try stuff, but if it's like this every day, it'll get in the way of me improving my life because I can't, even just sitting down to make the video, like I've got a decent window to make a video today, but I've just been sleeping through most of it. I'm not getting done the things that I need to get done or wanted to get done or whatever. Oh my God. So, it's frustrating. And I think a year or two ago, I also tried to go back on citalopram and I also had a go at escitalopram. Um, but that was difficult because I was still working. And so I'd have a week to try it, get the side effects, and then get it out of my system and go back to work the next week. So this stuff is difficult. Maybe I didn't give those ones enough of a try, but I wanted to keep going to work, so I didn't have a long window to try it. And yeah, like I think there was a stage with my old psychiatrist where, we didn't leave me much time to suffer the side effects because we would try something and I would try to stay on the medication and the side effect just wouldn't go away. So yeah, I think we sort of got to a point where we didn't wait as long. Um, I don't know. So I don't know how long I'm gonna last on this stuff. I might see if I can cut it into quarters. And then maybe I'll function better tomorrow and maybe I'll be able to go to this gig. But the way I feel right now, I just want to lie down and sleep all day and it's terrible. Um, I'm going to try and take my dog for a walk. As long as I'm sitting up and doing something, I can sort of push through that, but I'm really tired and I am really tempted to lie down. And if I lie down, that's it. I'm stuffed. So yeah, I think that's all the energy I've got for this video today, is I'm just struggling. Um, so yeah. Stole the Scribe Chronicler, Patreon, people buying my t-shirts. I had psychology after that as well, but there's nothing too significant to report. Went to have a cheeseburger and fries and an iced chocolate at a cafe nearby and found a Japanese shop and they had like proper Japanese bakery stuff. So I bought Mum a red bean bun and anpan and she really liked that. And then when I got home, I was just really tired and needed a nap. And that was before I even had this pill. Um, yeah, that's what's going on in my life, and that's all I've got. And if I'm not making videos for a while, or just making crap videos for a while, I mean, not that I put a huge amount of effort in, but if I'm not making videos at all, it might just be because this medication has really screwed me up. So, bye.